It's summertime, and you know what that means.
It's too darn hot, too darn hot, too darn hot. It's so hot!
Yeah, there's that. But also cookouts, pool parties, and the beach.
Oh, I'm all a tingle.
Right? And what do you need for those activities?
Sunscreen.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about music.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Toxic Radio is ready to go with you wherever your summer takes you. All you need is your smartphone, a Bluetooth speaker, and the free Toxic Radio app. You can also catch us on the TuneIn Radio app.
What if it's too hard?
Yeah, what if it's too hard?
Were you even listening? Phone, speaker, app. It's not hard at all.
Actually, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Damn right it is. So make sure you have us with you all summer and never miss out on the great shows and the great music. Toxic Radio. Don't play your summer safe. Play it toxic.
Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is the place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man?
Hi, it's Steve Morrison from the President Steve Show, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Get infected like you would with a cheap hooker.
Hey, this is Mike Busey, and when I'm not touching myself, I'm listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
Hey, this is Brimstone, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
What's up, everyone? Yeah. I don't know what's going on over here, but I think my junk is hitting the headphones. Yep, it's definitely hitting the headphones, but that's all right. I can hear myself now. Something's going on. I think it's definitely the headphone cord. So, where am I at? Connecticut School of Broadcasting? This is crazy. So, yeah.
Do you think Howard Stern ever had to go through something like that?
No, he probably does. He used to scream at Scott. Is Scott even on this show anymore? He used to scream at Scott all the time. Scott! I don't know.
Yeah, talking to the microphone, sir. Man,
well, it's so fucking far away. I have to.
Godfrey did go to broadcasting school.
And I just bumped in. All right, you know what? Fuck these headphones.
What is going on over there? Do you need like a cuddle? Like what's going on?
Now we're gonna do that. The front headphones are balls. All right, so I'm back. We're back, and it's time to take a deep. Your favorite time of the week on Toxic Radio. That's right, toxicradio.net. You can catch all of our great shows. If you haven't caught them live on toxicradio.net, the app, download it, Google Play Store, iTunes, and you catch me, THEEGODFREY, the Godfrey, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Taking a deep with the Godfrey. Watch it live on Facebook. Share it. Your mom's going to love it. True story. A lot of listeners' moms listen to the show. I don't know why. Hey, got a wide range here. We swing far. Okay? So would that be... Tell me I'm wrong, Mike. Am I wrong?
I don't know what you're swinging, but I'm going to say that's probably what knocked down the box underneath the table.
That's right. So, Simone Biles, we'll talk about that today. More about the dynamics of the conversation rather than the conversation of what happened itself. Just people just seem to want to fucking fight about something. Internet people, what kind do you dislike? What do I mean by that? Mike, do you know what I mean by that? There's a certain type.
Is this political?
No.
Okay.
Could be one of the characters you dislike, There's many different characters that we approach on the internet. Most of them are on Facebook. So, we'll go into that. Cole Beasley, we'll talk about him. Who is he for my non-sports fans? He is possibly the cuck of the week or the mush of the week. Not sure. But, Mike, search up a Cole Beasley press conference from today. We're going to do it later, but search it up. You could definitely find it on Twitter. Seems like we have to talk about the vaccine every week because it's just prevalent, but we're not really going to talk about it, just stuff surrounding it. Celebrity boxing getting a lot of pop. Apparently, the rumor is they're going to be on Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Fallon, Mike. Yeah, so tons to talk about. But that internet personality that you dislike. Mike, I was going through Facebook and, notice my hat's all messed up. But go through Facebook and you see certain people. There's guys out there gaslighting people. I hate those people. There's the one guy that makes that one comment, when there's controversy going on. He's like, all of a sudden, everybody's an infectious disease expert and a gymnastics expert. That fucking guy that he wants, you know what I'm talking about? The one that doesn't have a real opinion, but he just wants to go, all of a sudden, everybody's an expert. The most unoriginal fucking opinion ever. If you've used that opinion, you are a fucking loser.
My favorite is I saw a clip today on TikTok of a guy, and he was just talking horrible about Biden, and he said, "Oh, well, he fell asleep in an interview," and then the reporter actually held up the clip and showed him this is the original clip. They worked in this clip.
He's old. He could have,
but he didn't. And the guy goes, "All right, you got me there, but he's still a piece of shit."
And. Yeah, that's another type, too. My favorite line that I've gotten this week on the internet, and Mike, you help me extrapolate this if you can.
I'm going to help you spell that.
You don't know how to spell that offhand.
I don't. That's why I said I would help.
Yeah, Mike was going to turn the camera off and Google the shit out of that. Leave the camera on. Don't you lie.
That's where America is at right now. Why do you need to learn anything? You got Google.
He cheats like he cheats in poker. That's a whole nother discussion. Then we had the toxic poker night. My girlfriend decided to give 40 chips away. They make somebody eat bugs because she couldn't believe that.
She gave a stack of chips away just for our good buddy Brad to eat a couple of crickets.
Mike would have ate them for free.
Absolutely. I was hungry. I would have.
Craziness. So, with all that being said, I had said to me on the internet the other day, I was talking about the Cole Beasley situation, which we'll get into later.
Right.
And the guy's coming back and forth at me. And he's like, the COVID vaccine is not really a vaccine. It's a shot. The COVID vaccine is not really a vaccine. It's a shot.
What does that even mean?
I don't fucking know, but I feel dumber from even saying it. What does it mean? I don't know.
Alexa, what does it mean?
Yeah, Alexa would probably say, I'm going to
This is why I can't have these kind of conversations with people, even if I know that you're hardcore one way or the other. I can't hold these conversations because
I didn't know this person. It was on a Sports Illustrated
so
post.
Differently about people, and when they're strangers, you just start really looking down on not just Americans but the human race in general. It is mind-boggling when you look at it because free thinkers, go-getters, DIYers, these people that really don't just jump on board with information that they don't really understand, or if they don't understand it, just kind of move past it. But then you see these people that so blindly just want to do something. The stay-at-home Karens, the guys with no life left in them that just find something to belong to and then believe something so wholeheartedly. This is how things like, Jonestown happened. This is how things like events like Waco happen. It just people just accepting stuff. It's just sad. It's just so sad.
Well, here's the thing. It all kind of ties together. I've been thinking about this a lot, when I think about what to talk about on the show, and there's so many things I can go, and I like to keep it lighthearted and funny, but I also like to keep it real And, one thing that bothers me is when I think people are gaslighting or they're reacting to something that most people can't react in that way. Cole Beasley's one of those people. This guy's got $7 million on the line. There would be a lot of people would probably jerk people off for $2,000, let alone take a COVID vaccine. But that being said, just these different personalities on the internet, it's hilarious. Like, I still feel opinion is the lowest form of human knowledge, and that plays out all the time online. I was on a Sports Illustrated article. The best thing that I use, because I know friends that would get caught up in days, maybe even weeks in a Facebook conversation going back and forth. I have a 2 to 3, if I don't know you, where I have a 2 to 3 limit on replies back and forth. And then I use this magical thing called the turn off the notifications button. And it is freeing, very freeing. Because, at a certain point when you have a conversation with someone, they are trying to either A, gaslight you or troll you. I need a little more than $2,000. It's funny. Yeah, me too. I would need more than $2,000 for that. But, Cole Beasley's got $7 million on the line. He's trying to act like he goes, I'm neither anti or pro vaccine. I'm like, sure, bud. Sure. He's going to cave because it's going to cost him $7 million. And little short perspective here is the NFL owner said Colin Kaepernick wasn't worth the trouble, but we have a older slot receiver that's causing a lot of trouble right now. But yeah, that's another conversation. But with that being said, it's just a different personality types. Like, can you think of any, Mike, that like on Facebook that they say like the most obvious thing? Like, I always love when people like when the Robinhood thing was going on, like everybody's a stock expert now. You're a cuck. Everybody's a financial expert. Oh, please go fuck yourself. Like, it's just, it makes it, everybody's a tax expert now. Everybody's a policy expert. It is like the most low-hanging fruit possible on the internet for you just to repeat, like, oh, you're an expert now. Oh, I guess you're an expert on Tierra Masu because you posted a picture. Like, come on. Really? Everybody just it's like the armchair analyst, but like you're twice as worst.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually, as you're talking, going through my Facebook because I know that I could just come up with somebody real fast that fits that description because we are in the age where people wake up and get on their phone and try to be witty with what they put up, and they're posting stuff
just be
in regards
natural
to what you're saying. And I'm going to find one. And it really doesn't take that long.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm surprised your phone's running. Is Grindr taking up all your RAM?
Grindr takes up a lot. You'd be very surprised about how much Grindr takes up.
The struggle is real, huh?
Yes.
Struggle is real.
Dude, Grindr is an app and a half that takes almost your whole day. It takes most of my day away. More so than TikTok.
Well, while you find those comments, we're going to talk about our mush of the week. Right here in New Jersey, a woman stole an oil tanker. Did you know that?
What? Why would she do that?
Don't know. Sounds like she's a mush to me. She leads police on chase to Wawa, 80 miles away at the Jersey Shore, cops say. A 44-year-old woman who stole an oil tanker in Camden County on Saturday was arrested more than 8 hours later and 80 miles away. So you mean to tell me she made it to the fucking Jersey Shore with a goddamn stolen oil tanker? Like, is this the movies? Yeah. And after eluding police, okay?
Yeah.
And getting into crashes in multiple towns, man, Wildwood police took Camille Westcott off Lawnside.
Oh, this was in Jersey?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Into custody. So Camille Westcott of Lawnside, if you know her,
if you know her, have her call the show.
Yeah.
Phone
have her
lines
call the show.
open.
Yeah, I want to know what the decision process was. I would really like to take the risk analysis there.
We need to get to a deep dive on taking it deep.
Yeah. Well, apparently she needed to go
That's a new segment of the show, the deep dive.
The deep dive, yeah, why not?
Why don't we do the deep dive?
Yeah, feel like lawn darts. So
lawn darts.
You remember those? You throw them up and stab
By the way, I'm trademarking that right now.
Okay, cool. I'm going to sue you. No, Wildwood police took Camille Scott alongside into custody. She went to the Rio Grande Wawa in Wildwood, of all places, after 8:30. Maybe people were out of gas. I don't know. Maybe she was going after those people that like to order 9 hoagies and park their car in front of a gas pump and not actually get the gas. So I have been guilty of that sometimes. Not 9 hoagies, but parking my car there because everybody else was doing it. Whatever. So cops forced their way into the truck due to concerns she would flee into the town congested with summer visitors. Okay. Interesting. I guess they weren't concerned about the other towns on the way down. But, I mean, that could have been really bad. I don't know what Mike's looking at right now, but so
I shouldn't have done what I just did. Let's just ignore that. Keep going on with the show.
I'm gonna make you eat that
I
now.
shouldn't have done what I just did.
Yeah.
Oh my! That was my ADD. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was like, I have to open this up now because Godfrey put it in front of me, and I am actually 100% shocked at what I just saw.
So listen, the strange incident began about 12:30 p.m. when Westcott stole the oil tanker right here in Belmar, according to Wildwood Police. Over the next few hours, Westcott. Wouldn't this go on the news? News sucks. Like, I would want to see this. Like, you know, they could
I'm
get.
sure it was on the news.
O.J. Simpson's going down the highway. We saw it in '94.
I'm sure it was on the news, but I bet you it was on the 5 a.m. news, which nobody watches but me.
This is on Saturday. Yeah, because you're psychotic and you get up that early. But Westcott led police in various towns on pursuits and was involved in several crashes, as they were saying. So troopers advised that the tanker's GPS placed it in the area of Buck Road, and a short time later located the vehicle in Harding Woods, a trailer park. Maybe she was going home. State police tried to stop the truck, but Westcott fled on the Route 40. Authorities said troopers pursued the oil tanker for a short distance before calling it off. I don't know what calling it off meant, or calling off the chase. So Wildwood police charged Westcott with receiving stolen property, you don't say, obstruction and resisting arrest, and turned her over to Belmar police. She also faces charges at Belmar from state police and elsewhere. Yeah, because there is I believe it's state police barracks in Belmar, if I'm not mistaken. But crazy. Good thing, good job on the cops, though, not letting it get to the shore, because that could have been a disaster. You know what I mean? Especially this time of year. I mean, what a mush. Like, why?
Fucking mush.
She's got to have some. There's got to be a backstory to that. Let's try to get her on the show.
Dude, you are the captain of this ship. You need to start. You need to start throwing out those life vests to the people that we want to get on here.
Maybe
we save them. We pull them on.
What you're gonna eat later on?
Oh Jesus.
Maybe that's what happened.
I know we're kind of going back to the well for this, but I'm going to be coming into the studio area because I've got to show you what I just saw up close. We'll go save that for later on. Please stay tuned. You're going to hear what we're talking about, but the fact that it just shocked me is a testament to what I just looked at.
Yeah.
I sent a picture to Laura.
By the way, funny story of the week. Scientists in Korea, they invented a toilet that turns human feces into cryptocurrency. Right.
Wait, what?
Mike's like, I can shit myself into
I
the
think
rich
you just
house.
broke my fucking brain. What did you just say?
It's a toilet generator. A researcher at the university in South Korea has devised a toilet that turns human waste into power. Reuters reports a bonus incentive. Each use rewards poopers with a small amount of digital currency that they can trade in for a coffee or a cup of noodles on campus. The toilet first pumps your excrement into an underground tank, which means it uses less water right off the bat when compared to traditional toilets. Microorganisms then break down the waste into methane, a usable source of energy. In short, it's a delightful new method of turning sewage into power.
Jesus Christ. Do me a favor. Just turn that microphone towards your face at least. Just turn it there you go.
I'll grab it by the shaft.
Yeah, that actually sounds a lot better.
Cool.
Anyway, that is just
I feel like
it's mind-boggling.
We need a drop mic for a center mic here, like from the ceiling.
Do you want like the old school boxing microphone? Is that what you want?
When I get on the show, I wanted to say it's the Godfrey. I wanted to drop down.
You would be like Mr. Kennedy from WWE.
Yeah. Kennedy. Godfrey. See. So I just wanted to drop down and catch it.
That would be. We might have to invest in that, even if it doesn't work, just for the theatrics of it. Just Godfrey,
and it would be positioned so much better than this. This mic just it's like stabbing you in the chest.
Every other show on the network has no problem.
They're just afraid.
You come in here.
They're afraid to voice their concerns.
Like you're in a battalion with a whole command center in front of you, and then can't get the microphone over top of the system.
That's all I got to say about that. So, all from the toilet. So, the Simone Biles thing, I'm pretty sure everybody's been talking about it. You know, there's some stories where I hear the general thesis of it or what it's about, and I just don't invest time in it because I think it's stupid. Now, her deciding to do what she did, I don't think it's a big deal. She's done a lot in her sport. I hear people talking about it. Like I would hear people whisper about it, like talk on the train, and then I hear people talking about it, and I wanted to turn around and be like, "Yeah, man, you don't even look like you were able to do anything athletically in 10th grade, or even put down that Krispy Kreme donut you're eating right now, or something like that." Like she has done a lot athletically, and people, including myself, have never been on that level of achieving something in the athletic space. And it's a lot harder than people think. Fame, all those things. Are you willing to pay the price? And, goes back to the whole Cole Beasley thing, which we'll talk about later. Yeah, Mike's gonna, man, it must, I don't know how that goes, what you're gonna eat gets worse than it already is, but that's gonna be interesting. So, Simone Biles, you heard about that, Mike, the Olympic gymnast?
Yes.
Yeah,
My toxic mom was very upset about this happening, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, it became a left-right thing, and I'm like, why does everything have to be pick a side? Like, you're on this side or you're this side. And, I'm online, and I see all these, pundits and these, personalities, and all they can deal with, or to exist, they have to have this division, right? They have to talk about things in a term of picking a side. And it becomes right or left or red or blue or whatever. And she's a quitter. She's not a quitter. You don't understand. And I just see these people out here who are media figures just like fucking gaslighting people. And people, like, it's not, you hear about it, but it's not something that's worth getting upset over. Like, what is with people? They need to put their energy into other shit. And, so I heard the story, and I got to brief. I didn't need to investigate it. I didn't need to go in there because I was like, oh, okay, well, that was her choice. That was it. That's what it was in my mind. Would I have done it? I don't know. Never been on that level. Not comparable. I'm never going to be a gymnast. It doesn't take a detective to figure that out. And this girl has, placed herself in history as probably one of the best gymnasts of all time, if not the best of all time. Some people will argue that. They're saying she sets a bad example. She's a quitter because she went on the mental health. And then all the pariahs came out. And I'm just like, why does this have to matter? And, someone said something. A lot of these kids, they're fucking kids. They're kids. Like, get over yourself. There's adults getting mad. Most of them aren't even 18. Like, let them grow up. Let them be kids. No wonder kids have anxiety these days. And I'm just tired of an issue that should just be something people talk about. Now people can't hear me again? Okay. Am I getting complaints in the chat? All right, is Laura complaining? Laura, you need to chill. It was her, wasn't it? I knew it. Was it her?
You're good now. Don't worry about it. The head of the microphone has to face your mouth.
Okay. I know there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm going to leave it alone. So, yeah. I mean, the Simone Biles thing, it just goes in. Like, everything is so polarized. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted from these types of conversations and interactions and, the way people talk about things. It's fucking exhausting. And it's the media. The media is worthless. That's all they do. I get my news from outside of the major cable news networks because it's just bullshit, and it's just the morning paper for boomers and people that get upset, and they just feed you. And, I always hear my one friends that are Republicans like, oh, yeah, this is how Democrats are. And then I hear people go like, oh, this is how Republicans are. And they don't have any clue at all who is who and what is what as far as reality goes. And it's just tiring. Like, let the girl live. I mean, it's her choice. Does someone get to say to you, like, hey, man, I see you quit that accounting job. You're a fucking quitter. Like, no one cares about your accounting job because it's pretty fucking irrelevant. Doesn't mean you don't want to do it. I mean, yeah, and Dave probably has more understanding than all of us when it comes to mental illness. Not that he's mentally ill. That's still questionable. But on an educational level, Dave has a deep understanding of it, probably more than all of us combined. But with that being said, yeah, I mean, mental illness, says the guy on the radio, media is worthless. I'm not worthless. I'm fucking priceless, Dave. Remember that. Take it deep. So My thing is I'm out here doing it for nothing. Some of these guys become sellouts. Or when I say they're worthless, I'm going to qualify that for you, Dave, since you've challenged me. And I will show you my sword, figuratively speaking. So, here's the thing. The ones that are worthless, I think there's this guy named Tim Patton. I can't even remember his name. I commented on his post. I don't even know who the fuck he was. He showed up on my page because a friend of mine commented on his post, one of those type of deals, or, you know, my personal Facebook page. And I'm looking at I started clicking on it, looking at his feed, and I'm like, this guy's just a fucking gaslighter. And I have no respect for the individuals that create content that just take the low-hanging fruit, that just want to troll people and fan the flames. Okay? I will not keep my sword in my pants. And I just feel like those individuals they're not creative, they're not smart, they're taking the easy way out, and they are playing people. And that, you know, you're a sellout at that point. However way you want to slice it, you're a sellout. You are a complete sellout. You know, I'm talking about the Ben Shapiros of the world, the Rachel Maddows of the world, the, you know, all those, you know, just, you know, and it just, these division issues just drive things further apart. So then you get guys like Cole Beasley. Did you find that clip for me, Mike?
I did. I was waiting for you to ask me to
Yeah,
go
play
to
that for.
I believe,
So he gave an
wait,
interview.
let me say I believe I found the clip. Since you didn't send it to me, I tried to find what I thought
I tried to
was the
find it
correct
too,
one.
but Godfrey for your show prep. So
All right, he does. Is this the right clip?
That's the coach, but
Oh, that's the. Never mind. Never mind.
that's Sean
See, that's what
McDermott.
happens when I try to find things on my own.
Cole Beasley kind of looks like he would be going to the country concert, drinking some Busch Light. So it's an education thing. But athletes in general with this whole COVID thing are really annoying me. I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to use Cole Beasley as an example. They're some overprivileged assholes. And they are. Their asses have been getting kissed since, like, middle school, okay? And they're the cream of the crop. They made it to the professionals. Good for you. But everybody doesn't have the ability to act like you do. This guy's going to sell out because he's got $7 million online. He's not going to retire. He's full of crap. And, you know, good for the NFL for being aggressive about it because they're protecting their business. And unfortunately, that is the law. Now, there's certain things we won't get into the legality that they can't force you to do. And no one's going to force him to take the vaccine. But companies can put mandates in that might make you have to deal with not taking it. And that's how life works. See, society works that way. So overall, I think most people either A, want it or think it's a good idea. And if they want to wait till it's fully authorized by the FDA, have at it. I don't think anyone should be forced. But these athletes, you know, DeAndre Hopkins is one. I think he's been pretty silent on it now. You know, they want to be all – that's the press conference. Oh, let's look at it. He doesn't even know how to wear the mask right. He's wearing it like he's got –
chin diaper.
He's got his fucking chin diaper on. Big fucking surprise there, you know. And let's hear him talk. Let's hear this genius talk.
Oh, wait. Let me get his audio up.
Mike's just got to learn how to work the board. He went to broadcast school.
I'm not anti or pro-vax. I'm pro-choice.
I'm pro-choice.
That being said, the issue at hand is information is being withheld from players in order for a player to be swayed in a direction he may not be comfortable with. When dealing with a player's health and safety, there should be complete transparency regarding information that is vital in the decision-making process. Without having all the proper information, a player can feel misguided and unsure about a very personal choice. It is all about the young players who don't have a voice and are reaching out to me every day because they're being told if they don't get vaxxed, they'll be cut. In regard to player safety, I will conclude by saying we all want to be safe. Our health is the now and years beyond, which we are trying to protect with our personal choice, while doing all the things we did in our protocol during a very successful 2020 NFL season.
So here's the thing about that. What's rich to me about a guy who plays football saying that is he's in a sport that I love, my favorite sport, by far. See, I have an Eagles hat on, I'm an Eagles fan. But it's probably one of the most violent sports around. You run into each other, you tackle, and thank you, Gene. I love when people get excited about my sword. So, you know, you tackle people, you crash into each other, and right now they started taking more safety protocols to limit the concussions. But it's a violent sport overall. It's our modern-day version of the Colosseum, if you will. It's our gladiators, right? People go there, they gorge on food just like in Roman times. I'm not shaming people for it. Have at it. I don't care. free will. But if for a guy to say players are making choices that they don't know about, he's doing that all the time in the world of football. He's so full of shit. I think he's trying to brand himself as maybe a conservative hero. I don't know. This is the conversation that I got in with people in the Sports Illustrated article talking about what he said. You know, he's reading from a phone. This guy's not a scientist. You know, I've had arguments with people personally about why'd you take the vaccine, why I won't. Even my own brother, he hasn't. Okay, fine. And I said, you know who I trust? Not some asshole online. My doctor that's been fucking working for 20 plus years that I decided to trust because I have a relationship with her as my physician, right? Because you make a judgment call in life of who you trust and who you don't trust by how you interact with each other. And I feel I could trust my doctor. She hasn't pushed me the wrong way. And I know I could trust her. But Cole Beasley or himself, I know there's no doctor in the world. He said, doctor said we're always learning. You are always learning. Just like you're always learning about how concussions hurt your head and damage your brain in football. That same sport you're worried about taking a vaccine at has concealed it from you. And again, I'm not after football here. I love football. No one's ever going to steal that sport from me. Despite that, the sport is the sport. And he's being hypocritical. Now, most people don't have $7 million on the line because if he retires, I'm pretty sure he has to give most of that back. So he won't retire. He's full of shit. So don't sit here and believe that he's taking this high and mighty stance. And when he talks about the players on the roster bubble, no one said you will be cut. But the thing is, just like they made a decision with Kaepernick, they made a decision with Beasley. Kaepernick's decision was a little bit more entangled in other things. They are going to look at the dollar per hassle ratio as an NFL team. If two guys are on the roster bubble, and for my non-sports fans out there, meaning trying to make the team, and one guy's not vaccinated and one guy is, and it's close, Mr. Non-vaccinated is going to get cut. And guess what? That's your choice. And we have to deal with the consequences of our choice. Just like whoever got vaccinated, if it turns out to be the wrong choice, I got to deal with the consequences. I made that choice to take it. Nobody else's fault. And we don't have enough self-responsibility out here. So for me to believe that this guy really cares about the roster bubble player is bullshit. He's so full of it, and I don't want to hear his crap. And guys, and these athletes are privileged out their ass. You are used to being able to get away with what you shouldn't get away with. And you're getting your asses kissed since middle school. And you have this high and mighty attitude that you're above it, and you're not. The people who sell the fucking popcorn, the parking attendant, the media people, the trainers, most of the coaches, I would say, probably all the coaches. There's a coach who have lost his job. They have to upload their vaccine card. Even at the company I work at during the day. If I want to come into the office, I had to get a vaccine. And guess what? They didn't say you had to. They didn't fire anybody. But those people can stay at home. Okay? They're not pushing it. But your choice may lead you down a path of, well, you didn't get the vaccine, and we need you here to do this type of job. So it's not because you didn't get the vaccine, but you're saying you can't come in person, and that's your personal choice. So that's when things get fucking real. And things are real right now because people want to make a personal choice, and I'll respect your choice. Still be your friend, won't criticize you for it, but the ramifications of your choice are your own. And you can whine like a little baby bitch, and that's fine. But guess what? No one made you do it, and no one made you not take it. So if you want to make that decision and make that calculated risk, be my guest. That's how society works. And there's nothing you could do to change it. So you could throw your temper tantrum, and Cole Beasley just blows my mind. He has the ability to get knocked the fuck out and concussed into next week. He ain't worried about that, but he's worried about any little bitty needle. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm just so tired of this. And the reason why this comes up time and time again, I'm sorry, guys. I know I punch this fucking subject in the face every week, is I don't want to go back to the shit we had to deal with last year. I want it to stay normal. And this is all about this polarizing conversation. And this has become a fucking right or left thing because we're getting gaslighted, right? Don't let someone gaslight you. Just don't. If it's your own personal decision, have at it. But for me, I just, we're going to have to start wearing masks again probably in the fall, and I hope that's as far as it goes. I'm not happy about this. I have a beard. I got to wear a mask every day on the goddamn train. I don't want to, but I have to. And I do it just to get along because I'm not a piece of shit. Sorry. If you want to be that guy that wants to walk into somewhere where you have to wear it and you want to make a stink, or girl, you are 100% a piece of shit. Gloves off. Mike, why do you have to be a piece of shit?
I was born this way.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll start tipping soon. So, all I know is that, oh, look at my man John Evans. By the way, great new show. What's that show called, Mike? I don't want to misquote.
Relationships 101 with John Evans. And a lot of people are digging it. We're getting a lot of comments online, a lot of comments after the show, and a lot of inquiries to John and advice. So it's going really, really well.
And if you guys
only on episode 2, it's going really well. And if you want to check it out,
I enjoyed it.
It's available on all the places you can get your podcast right now. It's also available on the Toxic Radio site and soon to be the app. We had some issues with fucking Google and posting the app new. But
was it user error?
It was not user error.
Oh,
it was. I'll tell you after the show, but it was ridiculous. But we're getting that situated. He'll be on the app shortly.
Yeah. So, and if you guys want to follow the trail of how COVID affects sports, I'm pretty sure our show Wire to Wire will bring that up every Wednesday, 8:30 to 10. Okay? So, I did like the show, and me and John were going back and forth on a few things. I felt like if you're going to cheat, you have to make sure it's an upgrade to make sure it's worth it. You know? Never cheat if it's a downgrade. You can't slump bust when you're. It has to be an upgrade if you're going to cheat. I'm not a cheater, but if I did it, if Selma Hayek walked by and she's like, "Hey, let's go to the broom closet," I'm in trouble. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna say something that is controversial. And most people don't like that I say this.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to say it because my pal, my buddy, Bert Kreischer, just recently said it on his podcast. And I agree with this. If I'm in a relationship with you, and for any reason whatsoever, you cheat on me, you're out, it's a one-night stand, you got too drunk, something happened, right? Don't tell me.
Don't tell me. Wow.
Do not tell me. I don't want to know. If you messed up, if you did something, or if you really just had a one-night stand.
This is fucked up too because I
don't tell me.
I kind of halfway agree with Mike for once.
But here's the deal: if we're gonna continue with that relationship for years and years and years, keep that in the back of your head. You live with that. Don't put that on me. I'm in a good place. I'm happy. I'm ready to go. Let me live like the fucking Matrix. Ignorance is bliss. Don't tell me.
So
here's the deal. Cheating will go one of two ways. Either you go back to the person that you actually want to be in a relationship.
Right?
If you want to be in that relationship, you're going to go back to that person. Or cheating will end up being you going into that other relationship. And either way, the person has no say in it. So if you cheat on me and it was literally a one-night stand or you messed up or you got drunk, don't tell me. I know it's controversial. People don't say that, but I thought I had to say it because of the simple fact, like I said, Bert Kreischer just said it on a recent podcast with him and what is it, Tom Segura? I forget the name of their podcast. But he literally said it, and I was like, dude, it's the first time I've heard another guy say that.
Now, if you do get caught, though, and again, I'm not saying that I've done this. Oh, my girlfriend's not listening. But if you do get caught, you can't be a dick about it. You have to be remorseful. Because here's the thing. I do think if you're going to cheat, you're telling on yourself. Maybe you don't want to be with that person. And if you do it again, you're really saying you don't want to be with that person. And what you really need to do is stop being a passive-aggressive asshole and step up and say, hey, I want to break up. You know what I mean? And that's really where you need to be. You got one life to live. Don't stay with someone because you are fucking afraid, bitch. Don't be a bitch your whole life. And here's the thing. Some people psychologically think they can't be with certain people or they'll never find anybody else. So either they'll take it if they're on the other end or they'll stick with them even though they're the one fucking up.
Right.
And you can't be in that place. You have to learn to be happy by yourself before you can be with anyone else.
Look, I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm seeing that I'm getting, especially from Laura, do not agree at all. Most people don't agree with that way of thinking.
Brad, you were right on. He said, just like Shaggy said, it wasn't me.
Most people don't like that, but I've had that same methodology, that same thought process since I was literally in my early 20s.
I mean, it's just skin.
I'm not going that far. I'm saying it's just skin. Well, then that becomes a really weird thing. Then after the show, me and you were sitting around after a few, and I just look at you with my pants down going, it's just skin.
First of all, I'd like to let everybody know that never happens to Toxic.
But
when I'm here.
But a lot of people don't like that way of thinking.
Now I know I haven't seen fish in a while.
I halfway wanted to say that on John's show on Relationships 101 here on Toxic Radio. I half wanted to say that, but I've never heard anybody agree with it. And it just so happens that, like I said, Bert Kreischer said it. And it was like when he said it, it's like when you hear somebody else finally agree with your craziness.
Well, here's the thing. I kind of feel like that in a cross-section way about, like let's say someone tells me something really nasty about you. Like, they say, like, I think Mike's a cocksucker, this, and that. I mean, I hear that all the time, but I just keep it to myself.
Me too.
But, yeah, but my thing is why would I tell Mike that? It's negative. It's not productive.
Right.
Is he going to do
It
anything
doesn't
with
help
it? All he's
anybody.
going to do is
Right.
piss him off. Like, sometimes I'll hear people talk shit in passing about other people it would probably piss him off. But why do I want to be that person? Like, yo, you know what they said about you? They said you don't change your underwear for 5 days in a row.
What positive outcome do you have coming from that? There's nothing. That information doesn't help that person in any way, shape, or form.
So there is no positive outcome. But, I don't condone cheating. However, I do feel like if it's a one-off, you might want to keep it a secret. And don't think I'm weird at this, because I've heard stories about, like, and it's been written in TV shows, like,
right. So here's the thing.
Well, when I'm 80, I heard like 82-year-old grandmother like, I fucked the next door neighbor when your dad was alive.
It's a weird subject to talk. It's a weird subject to talk about, because it's one of those things where you literally would not know, and people not knowing something sometimes is more bothersome than not to not know. So
could I handle it if it happened to me? Someone said.
I
think I could.
Here's what I'm saying to you. So your girl, for whatever reason, in whatever situation that happens, she actually cheats, right? She does something with another guy, or another girl for that matter. But she does something with another guy. She comes back to you. She's never going to do it again. You don't need to know about it. If she literally is going to be with you and you guys are going to live happily ever after, do you need to know about that?
I'm getting Mike in a world of shit tonight. He better take like 9 shots for you to go home. So, I mean, good question. Karma, could you handle it if it happened to you? Good question.
Yeah.
I think I could. I've had my suspicions about past girlfriends, and I'm the type of guy where if I knew about it, I would say, fair enough, and then I would go get me some strange and be like, we're even now.
There you go.
And people,
but see, but is that even if you do not know? If you do not know that it actually happened, you're just suspicious. You'll still go out and say, "Now we're
I feel
even?
like there's an emotional connection there, and with sex, there's an emotional connection. But I do feel like people overvalue sex in a sense where I'm not saying you should be out banging everybody, but there are people with open relationships that it works, it doesn't work.
So every time you've ever had sex, was there an emotional connection? Every time?
I mean, probably not. Less than not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not whispering sweet nothings in your ear. Like, oh, I just want to lick you down. I mean, I get it's kind of weird, but I don't know. I think people. So here's the thing too. Like, I think people, sex is important and the intimacy between two humans are important. But I do think that people try to lock people in with sex. They're like, we had sex. You're all mine. You're all mine now forever. You've seen my genitals. I don't think it's worth that much. I mean, that's
You've seen my genitals.
Or, my labia, if that's a girl. You know what I mean? I don't know what the female. You've seen my curve.
The labia is still genitals. They're all genitals.
Is that genitals though? Okay.
The balls and dick aren't just the genitals. Like,
okay.
It's both genitals.
You see my beef curtains. No, so I mean, it's intimate and you go there, but like I always feel like if it's that type of setting, honesty is the best policy from the beginning. When you set the standard for faithfulness and emotionalness, or how you emotionally treat each other, from the door you have to set the standard. That's where the toughness comes in, where you set one standard or you agree to a standard you know you can't live up to, and you know the serial cheaters know that they can't, and you need to be like, listen, this is the guy I am. I know it sucks, but if you want to sign up and go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, this is what you have to accept before you walk through the gate. And if they sign up, whose fault is that? Now, but I don't know, controversial.
By the way, if you want to hear more talk like this and relationships and what if and all that kind of stuff, definitely tune in to Relationships 101 with John Evans every Monday night, 8 p.m. on Relationships 101 podcast Facebook page. Also, it is podcasted just like every show here on Toxic Radio. And you can go check out the podcast. Right now, it's on Apple Podcasts. It's up on Google Podcast. It's over on the Toxic Radio site. And like I said, it'll be up on the app very shortly. Go check out the last 2 episodes so you're caught up, and then tune in every Monday night.
John's show is good fun to comment on because when you say stuff like the girls just go crazy in there like Billy Madison. They're like, whoa, 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 you know, and they don't like. I said something like, everybody laughed though when I said my mom's been married 3 times and she's been banned from marriage, but you know, that was funny. No.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just interesting. How do we go down that fucking rabbit hole? I have no idea.
Because John chimed in and then you started talking about
stuff
that you were talking
about. Great show though.
there.
I like it.
And then just because of this past episode 2 was all about cheating. You were talking about cheating, and then literally I remembered watching the podcast with Bert Kreischer during my lunch break today at work, and I saw it, and I literally was like, wow, there's another person on this planet who thinks the same way.
Now, you can't escape the karma. I agree with John there. For the record, I cheated once, okay? And, you know, I didn't go on a gay excursion. You went. I wasn't there. I never went to Cooperstown.
So the comment right now for the podcast listeners from Sean says, unless, of course, you go on a gay excursion to Cooperstown, that's apparently
But he's talking about our
excusable.
friend Edwin.
Edwin.
Yeah, Edwin. He used to be one of my co-hosts. He goes on gay excursions with all men all the time. And if that's how you want to roll and that's what makes you happy, I support you, my friend.
There you go.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I don't want to bring any women. I'm just going to go to New Orleans with all dudes. And hey, and you know what? If that's your way of cheating, then cheat away. Oh, my God. I can't wait to end. That's going to be the finale because probably everybody's going to tune out when Mike eats that.
Well, can I come in there? You just keep talking, but I'm going to come in there and let you smell it.
That sounds really bad. We're going to do a drop on that. So he's going to come in and let me smell this. And it's what he's going to end up eating. Oh, God. Sweet Jesus of love. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, this Delta variant's ripping through things. So keep vigilant, my friends. Oh, my God. I can't wait to see him eat that. But keep vigilant, as I said, you know, and talking about that. But, you know, we have a few other things to talk about. And since we're going to talk about gross stuff and eating gross stuff, have you ever heard of a term called fish fraud? Fish fraud. It is a stinky situation.
No.
It's rampant, and this is from Salon.com. And Subway's tuna scandal is just the tip of the iceberg. They should have said the tip of the tuna. Subway's tuna sandwiches may not be their most famous product, but some, including this author, would argue they are one of their tastiest. Needless, I would not argue that with you. I would say you're wrong. But needless to say, it was alarming to read a report that a New York Times investigation into the sandwich's tuna found no amplifiable tuna DNA, suggesting that the so-called tuna sandwich was not. And now this happens if you buy crab meat and it's that imitation crab meat that people think, like, you know, that it's whitefish, guys, just to let you know. It ain't real crab meat, okay? And if you see scallops that are perfectly round, that means it's fucking skeet and they're just punching it out of the damn fish. Or it's like kind of like a stingray type of fish. If your scallop's perfectly round, there's something wrong and it ain't scallop, just to let you know. So, yeah, that's not real tuna. So, you know, Subway later questioned the reliability of the DNA test. Of course you did. I mean, come on. Why would you not? Claiming in a statement that it simply is not a reliable way to identify denatured proteins like Subway's tuna, which was cooked before it was tested. So here's the thing about that. You're telling me that it was cooked, you still can't identify it's tuna. Okay, sure. So it went viral. Not going to read you the whole article here, but tuna isn't the only fish that has fraud problems. Oceana, a 501c3 nonprofit ocean conservation group, began to investigate seafood fraud in 2011 and has since uncovered troubling patterns. In 2016, the group released a report about the worldwide scope of seafood fraud. And the reason why it probably happens in seafood is because it's expensive, right? So if you can sell fake seafood, your profit margin's higher, right? It's expensive shit. I love seafood. I'm a seafood fan, but it's not cheap. You know, when you see something on the menu that says market price, you know, you start bracing for impact. So, you know, in 2016, a group released a report about the worldwide scope of seafood fraud that detailed a pervasive, stomach-churning chart of unsuspecting customers. On average, 1 out of 5 of the more than 25,000 samples of seafood that they tested from 55 countries were mislabeled, with the trend occurring at every stage of the supply chain. In the United States, studies released since 2014 found that the average fraud rate, weighted by sample size, to be 28%. Worldwide, Asian, catfish, hockey, and escalade were the most commonly substituted. Asian catfish. More than half of the replacement fish, 58%, were from species that could get certain consumers sick. In Italy, 82% of the 200 swordfish, grouper, and perch samples were tested were revealed to have been mislabeled. Now, with fish, oh my God, and you know, Sean's a pretty well-known chef here. He said they use pig intestines as calamari in the Caribbean and Cuba. Fucked up. So what if you don't eat pork and you get fucked like that?
Then you're stupid. Start eating pork, stupid.
Oh, God. Yeah, Mike's like,
I don't care what they make my food with. As long as it tastes good and doesn't get me sick, I don't give a shit.
You'll understand why he says that in a couple minutes. So
a couple minutes, the show's going to be over.
No, we still got 8 minutes. 6:52. Relax yourself.
6:50. Do you have a stopwatch back there?
I have a clock. Stop trying to save 25 cents. I want my email back. On average, 1 out of 5. By the way, only old guys think their email makes them official. Anyway, on average, 1 out of... Sorry, guys. That might have been a veiled shot. But on average, 1 out of 5... That's an internal joke. You know it's true.
I like inside jokes.
So on average, because you're part of it. On average, 1 out of 5 of the more than 25,000 samples of seafood they tested for 50 countries were mislabeled, as I was saying earlier. So as we continue on, you know, grouper and perch samples were in the swordfish in Italy and mislabeled. Nearly half of the substituted fish have been labeled threatened with extinction by International Union for Conservation of Nature. And, you know, with fish, you can grind it up. You know, calamari, you can bread it. You know what I mean? And that's some bullshit right there. Like, I almost feel like, unless it's a reputable restaurant, I'm not getting the seafood. The fish on the plane is never a choice for me. I'm not going to get the fish. Not going to do it. I won't do it. No, never getting the fish. Because I don't know where that fish came from. I'm sorry, you can't sell me on it. The fish at the Subway, tuna, not doing it. Nope. I have to know. If you're a local deli, I still have to know. I will go for something else. So, you know, the more you learn, but, you know, I rather catch it myself or go to somewhere where they sell it fresh, where I'm buying it from market and I could see it. But I don't know, man. That's just how I feel. Oh, Matt's, you know what? Some of the best seafood I've ever had, though, was in Scotland, and I was surprised. I was my friend Matt reminded me of that. He was on there, and it was in Edinburgh, and it was pretty good. It was fresh, so didn't think they would have seafood there, and I was at a pretty good restaurant. So anyway, here's the other thing. In one instance, Oceana found that high mercury fish, for which the FDA warns against consumption by young children or pregnant women, were mislabeled as sold as safe fish that are low in mercury. So why is fish fraud prevalent? The answer boils down to lack of regulation, poor regulatory bodies, and the profit motive, as I said earlier. So, in other words, capitalism behaving as usual. I'm not anti-capitalism, but that's how it works. Fuck you, profits first, ask for apologies later after your grandpa died of cancer. That's really how it works. So, we can post that article in Good Morning, but fish fraud is fucked up. Speaking of fraud, people, I don't live off Scrapple. Scrapple. Yeah, he says people that live off Scrapple complaining about what their food is made of is priceless. Bruh, I don't eat Scrapple because I know it's a bunch of pigs' assholes that's deep fried. Or it might not be pig asshole, but it's damn close. Mike definitely would eat Scrapple.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I will be there for a visit. We can go to the UK now. U.S. citizens, if you're fully vaccinated. Another reason why I got it. EU and U.S. residents. So my British friends will be seeing me soon. That will be in the works. I'm going to Canada next month. Can't wait for that. I'm going to see if they try to, cattle prod me at the border. But, that being said, we're going to end the show with some spicy goodness. Mike likes to eat bugs every now and then, and he's been gagging on the show. So I feel like I have to let you guys know what he's gagging about.
So
and I waited to the end of the show because I know some of you are going to be like, fuck, and you're going to tune it out. And that's okay. I get it. But I wanted you to know that the other 56 minutes of the show wasn't about Mike stuffing giant shit down his throat and gagging. So, with that being said, show the audience what we were talking about.
So, I've got a bag here from Irby's, and it's mixed bugs. Got it on the camera right there. Pull it off a little bit. There we go. And what is in this bag is a dehydrated grasshopper, grasshoppers, house crickets, silkworms, field crickets, and sago worms, lightly in a little bit of salt. So now this was the biggest bag of mixed bugs I've ever gotten, plus the biggest assortment of mixed bugs I've ever gotten. I did let Godfrey smell it during the show. You probably saw that. This right here, which is actually really thick and really interesting. This bug, whatever the hell it is, I think this is one of the, if I had to guess, probably one of the silkworms. But the big daddy that came in, there's two just sitting on the top.
Mike loves the big daddies.
Which I'm guessing are the mago worms.
He loves the bears.
Are the size bigger than a quarter. These are giant. And they've got the head. Wait, let me see if I can get that in there.
By the way, is dad bod just code for bear?
The head, and they've got... Oh, Jesus, I dropped it on the keyboard. And they've got... I can still see the bug's anus.
Wait a second. The bug has an asshole?
Yeah, I can actually see the asshole.
Well, we knew you were going to eat that first.
So the asshole's actually, like... I guess during the frying process... Let me turn up your sound thing a little bit.
Yeah, I
guess it during the frying process, it must have fried the asshole more so than anything else.
It happens.
But I will say before...
It looks like you got him right after Thanksgiving feast.
Before I go ahead and pop this bad boy in my mouth, the head just broke off and fell between my legs. I got another one that's a full one. So before I go ahead and pop this bad boy...
That looks worse.
It is... It's got that giant black head. Before I go ahead and pop this bad boy in my mouth, I will tell you that smelling this was some of the most rancid smell I've ever smelt. Would you like one of these to eat it with me?
No.
We could cheers this.
No, I'm just going to admire your braveness.
Okay. So, I mean, we have a whole bag filled with stuff in here.
I hope you got a lot of toilet paper for your bum
but
later.
I feel like the main course should go first.
Yeah, let's go for... Is there a crunch?
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's flavorful.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh. Oh.
All of our listeners just left.
That is not... That is a taste I've never tasted before.
That's what she said.
That is a flavor that I've never had in my mouth. That is interesting. Oh.
Does it remind you of the time behind that Wendy's dumpster?
What it tastes like is if you've ever walked into like a reptile habitat in like a zoo or in a pet store. It tastes like what the reptile habitat smells like.
Ugh.
Oh. All right. So I've got to do. That was the main course.
Wait, there's more?
There's more. So,
Listen, I'm gonna have to step in here because it's 7 o'clock.
Wait.
I want to save my audience from this.
So there's the big cricket.
That's a cricket? It looks like the same
Oh no,
thing.
that's a grasshopper.
That's a grasshopper. It looks like the same thing.
Here's the worm that I told you about. Oh.
Yep. We just went from 5 to 6. I'm watching the numbers drop. I'm just watching the numbers steadily drop. They're like, fuck this.
So there's the handful. So I did the main course. This is the dessert. Oh, that bad boy was. Oh.
Well, listen, folks. On that note, why don't we just end on a high note here, as Mike gorges himself. And thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in. You can get the rest of this show, or if you didn't see it, its entirety on the page. Facebook page, Taking It Deep with the Godfrey. I don't know what's going on right now. We're going to get banned from Facebook. And if I could control the camera, I would have blacked them out, so don't blame me. But people are definitely leaving. So thanks for tuning in.
Oh, my God.
Thanks for listening. And your support is always appreciated. And like I said, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Alexa. Ask her to take it deep. And you can do that. So this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye. Just saying take it deep, and Mike's fucked up.